Welcome back, everybody. We are live on the talkSPORT Darts YouTube channel for night 10. We are in Manchester, and we've just seen Michael van Gerwen progress to another semi-final in this year's Premier League. He still hasn't won a night yet, but he's still got a chance in Manchester now that he's dispatched Chris Dobey by 6 legs to 4. Laura's still with us. You were watching that game, and we've now seen the importance of fixtures like this for MVG, because now with those 2 extra points, he has a little buffer over the 2 players we're about to see, which is Nathan Aspinall and Rob Price.
Yeah, and the likes of Michael van Gerwen, obviously, this is his 13th consecutive Premier League. He knows how it goes, but I just think the disappointment for him so far this year is just not picking up one of these weekly titles. So he's put himself again in a really strong position, not just for tonight, but as you mentioned there, for the table, for that chasing pack as well, because he's want to keep them at arm's length. As we're going into week 10, there's less weeks available. It's going to get all quite tight, and I think it's going to end up with actually quite an exciting race to that finish line when we get to the back end of this Premier League.
Couldn't agree more. If you look at the amount of points that people are sitting on right now as we go into double figures of nights completed, obviously by the end of the night, but you think about the way that Gerwyn Price has been playing this season, both in the Premier League and away from it. Michael van Gerwen now, admittedly with 1 extra quarter-final played, has got the same amount of points as Gerwyn Price. So there are different ways of getting to certain totals, and Michael, even though he's not winning nights in this Premier League campaign, he really is digging deep, isn't he?
Yeah, it's kind of what we say, how important those quarterfinals are, because they're worth 2 points. That win from quarterfinal into the final, the semi-final win, so it's 1 extra point. It's that first match which is absolutely massive, and then obviously if you can win the whole overall night, then that's also really big.
That's been his Achilles heel so far this season. But both Aspinall and Cross, who are behind MVG in the Premier League table, will now take the stage. This is going to be an interesting atmosphere for Rob Cross, because he's playing the away game tonight against Nathan Aspinall, who is on home soil. Here comes the Asp.
A UK Open champion, a US Darts Master, ladies and gentlemen, the former World Match Play champion. Time to meet the Asp, Nathan
There are Premier League darts nights, and then there are Premier League darts nights like this. If you're from Stockport, which is spitting distance from the AO Arena, this will feel a little extra special for Nathan as he walks up the steps and is about to serenade us with the Killers. His weekly ritual of bringing his arms to the ceiling. But I wouldn't blame him tonight, Laura, if he's feeling a little bit jet-lagged of sorts, because he worked really hard in Worcester on Sunday, failed to get the title, but another final on the European Tour for the 3rd time in his career. But he looked beaten at the end of that tournament. I really hope he's rested well the last few days.
Yeah, and hopefully he has. Obviously, we didn't see him at the Pro Tour, and that run in Worcester, that's an impressive amount of names of players that he built on the way through there. I just enjoy it. Nathan Aspinall conducting the crowd as you'd expect, but you mentioned obviously this is the home venue for him. This is the one, but we've seen players like Gerwyn Price and Cardiff really find that pressure a little bit too much.
He's only ever won in Manchester once. We will get onto that. But now Rob Cross, I'm sure, is about to get a very different reception. Nathan really enjoyed that walk-on, and why not? But here comes Voltage. Can he electrify Manchester tonight against someone from this city?
He's a former World Match Play champion, a Premier League finalist, and a former champion of the world. Voltage, Rob.
You don't have to wait, Rob. Just get on the stage and try and get your first win in Premier League darts in this venue since 2019. Incredible when you think about it. Some of these statistics, though, do somewhat mask what has actually happened. It's only 3 games that he's played in this arena since he made his debut in 2018. He's won 1 game, that was against Michael Smith. That was 8-1 in 2019. He has had a draw as well. That was against Raymond van Barneveld in 2018. But hasn't really been a happy hunting ground, this place. I wonder if it will be tonight, because expect him to be booed at certain points. But your point, Laura, about having the additional pressure of it being a home game, I think you're right. Some of these guys prefer to let things fly when they're not on home soil.
Yeah, absolutely, and it'll be interesting. Obviously, we've still got Liverpool to come up, and we've got Stephen Bunting now. Maybe the comeback is on for Stephen Bunting, who knows? But yeah, tonight it's all about Manchester, and as you say, Nathan Aspinall, this is the home venue for him, and the reception it's always awesome for Aspinall when it's Mr. Brightside, but I think it's going to continue throughout the entire match.
It hasn't been a terrible campaign for Nathan, it's been dogged so far. As far as his progress over the last couple of weeks, lost in the quarter-final last week in Berlin, semi-final the week before, so over the last 4 weeks he's only won the 1 game. It might be time for that to stop. His European Tour form this season has been a revelation, because that has been his weakness in his career over the last 4 or 5 seasons. Now that he's fixing that, he's got to fix this evening to stay in touch with the Van Gerwen, who is now 5 points ahead of him.
Yeah, I agree, and it's interesting because of the way that the points are kind of dished up in this style of Premier League. They've both won 6 games, Rob Cross and Nathan Aspinall. Nathan Aspinall has been a runner-up on 2 occasions. Rob Cross hasn't made it past the semi-final, but it's Rob who's got more points on the board, so work that one out.
It's all about accumulation. That's what they say in the pension industry, and both of these guys have made plenty of money in their careers to date, but already you can hear live on the talkSPORT Darts YouTube channel the reception that Voltage is going to get tonight, and surely he knew exactly what he was in for.
Yeah, the smile that we just saw from Rob Cross, I was expecting this early on. So Rob is probably one of those characters, though, that can actually deal with this situation. He'll just focus on the job in hand.
He can handle these situations, because if you think about Cardiff, he hit a 170 checkout to beat Gerwyn Price in the last leg decider, so nobody can accuse Rob Cross of not being able to play in an away game. He's on 4-0-1 after 6 darts, Aspinall 4-2-3. 3 tight darts there in the small 20 to get him on 3-6-3 in the first leg of this contest. Already exhaling quite deeply here is Nathan. Our first maximum cross is right there. Crushes it. Brings it back to 2-2-1 after 9. This one just starting to heat up a little bit.
And you mentioned the performance of Nathan Aspinall in Risa recently. Didn't make it all the way through to the final, but he did comment afterwards that obviously, his his arm was starting to hurt, hence having a couple of days off. Whereas he didn't see Rob Cross there at all, because he himself wasn't very well.
Yeah, Rob Cross not playing in the Pro Tour events this week. Neither was Stephen Bunting or Nathan Aspinall. I think anybody ducking out of floor tournaments this season, it is a wise choice. We'll get onto the subject of Rosmarlin for next week in due course, but Cross has got 87 here in the first leg. He's got a single 17. Didn't have to go 20 for bull, but he has got that trusty treble 18 for double 8. Misses it just left. Aspinall back on 2 or 6 with a cold start in leg number 1. He'll be looking to put pressure on from this position.
Nathan Aspinall's used to being in these kind of positions, won't panic as of yet. Rob Cross just taking his time, which is part of his game. Flying up double 8 and pins double 8 for a 1-0 lead.
Yeah, tidy stuff. He retrieves the dart out of the board somewhat deliberately and gives double 8 a bit of a stare down. Both players having to be patient with their game at the minute for very different reasons. Nathan has talked about difficulties with grip, difficulties with injuries, but he could be half the fitness that he is right now and still contend. He just has this ability to dig deep. How deep will he have to go tonight? Cross has got a 177 start in leg number 2, and we should be on the 9-dart watch tonight, because the last time these guys did play against each other, well,
91.
There was a 9-darter. That was in Brighton. That was Cross's home game, because he's from Sussex.
Treble 20, another treble 20. And then Rob Cross finds a maximum. You mentioned it, Paul. The 9 is on with 6 starts in, 144 required for Rob Cross.
And this could go, because that treble 18 will be calling his name. It was the 6th leg of that game in Brighton that brought the game to 4-2 Cross. 144 for 2-0 in Manchester against Aspinall. It's for a 9-darter. He's got the first 54. It's not the ideal lie, has to change. He doesn't get the second one. If it was just a little higher with the first dart, you thought that was going to be hit. But the first one was just the tiniest bit low, so he couldn't nestle it underneath. But it's still 71 left after 9.
Yeah, and it was almost melting the hardest of Manchester hearts, but back comes Nathan Aspinall with a maximum of his own.
Yeah, welcome to modern day darts. Cross misses a 9, he's on 71, and all of a sudden he's got to hit it, because Aspinall's on 45. Small 13 followed by a single 18, but only just for Rob. He has to check with referee Hugh Ware whether it's in. It is Rob, so you have 1 dart at tops for a 2-0 lead. Just a little high and left. That was a bit safe, and it looked like it was pulled. So Aspinall can bring Manchester to their feet to bring this one to 1 leg all. Just has to reset his grip. Single 13 is found. Low central on the big number. The double 16 found, so Aspinall is in the game. His beloved Manchester United are playing tonight, but he's not watching them right now because he's got business in Manchester of his own.
And it's interesting to see the response early on from Nathan Aspinall. A real gritted teeth and a real fist bump from him. Just lets me know. We normally see this towards the tail end when he's embroiled in a battle. This one means a lot to him. He wants it here for the Manchester fans.
Can you imagine the confidence of Aspinall if he was to get the win here tonight and then going to a place called Rotterdam next week where he has won the last 2 Rotterdam nights. He owns Rotterdam.
96.
So if he can get a win tonight, there's no reason why he wouldn't be able to win next week as well. Consequently, as Aspinall comes to the board on 408 here, 99 points adrift. Not anymore. That ton gets him to 308. Cross on 309. Single 19 to start. Has to go back to the 20s, and he's only got 2 singles. So Aspinall is really starting to eat away at Cross's abilities here, putting him under a little bit more mid-leg pressure.
He just lost a bit of form in that last dart, Rob Cross. You do see it from him sometimes. And Aspinall could make the most of it. Settles to 58 and puts them both on 250 points.
Treble 1 start for Rob. This is all a little bit untidy. He scores 26 to cheers of the audience in Manchester. They're probably thinking, I could do that. Imagine trying to do it in front of about 8,000 or 9,000 people. Slightly different than in the dog and duck, but they've both started to sip from the mediocrity cup. 2-2-4 for Cross. He's back at the hockey now. This is a little bit better. He has to switch down after an initial dart in the 60, but again it's untidy.
Yeah, and you think the dominance of the first leg from Cross, followed by the attempt on the 9, and just hasn't been able to back it up in this third leg. Nathan Aspinall now 80 points off of 190, so 110 required with 1 dart in hand. And switches down and finds a 25.
As Aspinall leaves 85. Cross on 141, starts on the 19s and only gets a single. He goes to the bull and gets half of that, so back down to the 19s, and that's a really clever 101 score. Leaves himself on tops at 1-all in his second quarter-final of the night, but Aspinall's got 85 to take the lead against the throw. Gets the treble 15 right in the bottom corner, so tops found with the first attempt. Grits his teeth as Wayne Rooney watches on. Now, if that does not inspire Nathan Aspinall, I'm not sure what will.
Inspire or just put even more unneeded additional pressure on you? I think we think very, very differently, Paul. I'd be in panic stations, but honestly, you can see the determination from Aspinall, and that is actually a break of throw as well for him.
Who's the most famous person who supported you at darts, Laura? It's got to be someone.
Oh, I don't know.
I'll let you think about that one.
Thanks.
Premier League Darts does attract a celebrity or two. Newcastle had Dan Burn, a few of the other Newcastle United footballers, and I'm sure that when we get to the O2 at the end of May, there will be plenty of people at the finals. But will Aspinall and or Cross be there? They're going to have to do well over the next few weeks to get into the top 4 of this table, where they currently do not stand. Aspinall on 301 with a 2-1 lead. He's at the hockey now with Cross 82 behind.
After the strong start from Cross, the initiative has gone all the way of Nathan Aspinall, finds 97 to put himself firmly in control of this fourth leg. 204 for Aspinall, placed 383 for Cross.
Seems to have steadied up a little bit here, Aspinall. More one treble visits. He's withstood the good bits of Cross so far. He might have weathered the somewhat inconsistent storm. 204 for Nathan. Doesn't get a treble this time. It's 60 with 3 big 20s there, all casting a shadow over the treble 20. He leaves 144 himself this time, the shot that Cross could not take for the 9-darter earlier in the match. And funnily enough, Rob Cross is left exactly the same.
Yes, Nathan Aspinall with the first attempt at it. He's just settling himself into the hockey. A slight re-grip once again, and it just goes ever a fraction high of the treble 20, as does the second. 40 points scored, 104 required with 1 dart left.
I think if Aspinall had VAR right there, he would have called for it. He couldn't believe he'd just scored 40 with the first 2 darts there. But a treble 18 leaves him on 50 with Cross on 144. He's not going to take it this time either. A small 18 to start. How many 19s will he get? 4 of them. The treble, then the single to leave 50 as well. They are following each other. Who will take 50 first for leg number 4?
It's Aspinall with the first attempt, finds 18, so double 16 is the target for a 3-1 lead. 3-1 it is. Nathan Aspinall pins 50. And now Rob Cross with a bit of work to do, because it's Aspinall that's been the dominant player in the last couple of legs.
Yeah, the averages aren't majestic. It's only about 89 for Nathan and 92 for Rob. But what we have seen from Nathan is a brilliant checkout percentage, which will never be bettered. But if he turns the screw on the 180s like we've just seen and heard from him right there, Rob Cross may just be a victim in Manchester again, because the one win that Aspinall has in this place in his Premier League career was against Rob Cross. That was last year, a 6-3 win. He's not going to set up a 9-dart attempt of his own, and he does so with a smile.
It's just the reaction, isn't it, from the audience? There is expectation now of these top-level players hitting it on a regular basis.
And players like Aspinall who do have underlying injuries that they manage. It's not just when you throw. You've got to manage the discomfort or the pain. It's when you celebrate. And nobody celebrates more vociferously than Nathan Aspinall. He's on 2-2-8 here. He's going to get to a finish. 98 scored with the single 18 coming last, leaving 130. Rob Cross on 2-3-9 is going to have to get something of a 2-treble nature here, and he's probably going to get that or more. More will do. That was a gamble with the last start, but it's paid off and left 59.
Once again, Nathan Aspinall, first one down to a finish. It is bigger than Rob Cross's. 130. Rob Cross sat there on 59 if Aspinall can't convert this. First one is a single 20, needs to get underneath it, does. Bullseye for a 4-1 lead, and ball is found, and you talk about celebrations, that's massive from Nathan Aspinall.
Shots like that are incredible, but first you've got to leave them. The 98 visit to leave that shot was very impressive, but the 130 on the bull gives Nathan a 4-1 lead, and he is buzzing right now. This is why you picked up your darts as a kid. You picked up your darts as a 21-year-old going on the tour and thinking, maybe one day I can play in front of my fans in Manchester. And he's going through that right now, and he's winning 4 legs to 1. Live on the talkSPORT Darts YouTube channel. This right now is a bit of a clinic when it comes to finishing. 100% from the Asp.
Yeah, and he's playing with a real smile on his face. He's conducting the crowd even in between throws. You can just see the confidence building and oozing out of it. But with Rob Cross, it is the complete other picture. He's really up against it. Kicked off with 11, but 2 treble 20s here might be able to rescue the leg.
I'm glad you brought up the 11 and not me. Dart players don't like to be reminded that they've hit 11.
Hopefully he can't hear me right now.
Well, they're both on 350 here, which can be taken in 6 darts. It won't be by Aspinall. He'll just get a ton, but that gives us a little bit of time to say congratulations, Laura, on being selected for your country once again. You're going to be in the Six Nations for England. Very much well done from everybody at talkSPORT.
Oh, thank you very much. Yeah, very much looking forward to it. Okay. Holding the nerves together, not thinking about it too much as yet.
You've got a couple of months to get ready, that's for sure. Aspinall on 250 here. Rob Cross on 210, so a little lead here for voltage. It's been taken away with the first 2 darts in the single by Nathan, but a really good last dart once again to leave a finish for 150. Will he go 20 better than the last leg?
I think it would depend on what Rob Cross does, and he's found 80 points. Last one in 83, but does leave him on a finish, so Aspinall, if he has the opportunity, will be going for this 150.
He's not going to go 3 bullseyes. He's going to go for 19s. He's not deviated his vision from the bottom of the board. And he's only got a big single, just under the 57 bed though. Over to the 17s with a single as well, so he'll go back up to the 60, and again with the last dart finds the treble 20 to leave 54. Cross needs this 127. Starts with a single 20, gets the 57. Can he hit the bullseye to get within 2 legs? He hits the bullseye, of course. What is going on with the finishing tonight in Manchester? It has been majestic from start to this point. 2 bulls in a row, and even Nathan Aspinall was applauding that one.
Yeah, good sportsmanship there from Nathan Aspinall, but no reaction from Rob Cross. Stopped the run. Nathan Aspinall 4 legs in a row. Now we're at 4-2, but Cross has got the advantage of throw in this leg. He did find a break with that 127 finish.
In footballing terms, this is Chelsea versus Manchester United. Well, Chelsea have won tonight, 3-0 at Legia Warsaw. Well done to Chelsea. Man United just about getting underway right now. I'm sure Aspinall's not thinking about that because he's 4-2 up on Rob Cross, who has the darts in this 7th leg. Can Aspinall reaffirm himself with a 5-2 lead? That's what he wants. Whether he gets it or not, it won't take long to find out. That 140 will help him to lead 261.
Yeah, it was a big last start there by Aspinall. Squeezed it in the corner, and the first one goes high for Rob Cross, just as well. 80 points scored. He has to settle for a ton. Just gives him a slight edge over Nathan Aspinall here.
Earlier in the match, Rob was on 239 and hit a 180 to leave 59. But Aspinall, once again, leaves 130. The last time he hit it, it established a 3-leg cushion. Here comes Cross from 238. It's only a 140 this time, it leaves 98, but Aspinall, a double little fish, if that's such a thing. We're about to find out.
Just readjusting. Again, the first one high, needs to find that treble 20. Well, that one goes wild. That's in the 5, so 105 remaining for Nathan Aspinall.
Interested to know what he said to that second dart, because he was not a happy bunny when he threw it in the big 5. But he's recovered well by hitting the bullseye to leave 55. Cross on 98. Small 20 start, and he's going to go low. Went for double 19, and he's too high in the single. So all he can do is lead tops, and Aspinall will surely be leaving tops here. This is for a break of throw and a 5-2 lead in quarter-final 2 in Manchester. He just about gets the single 15. It almost hit the double. It was way right of target, but the tops is prime. Centre left of the bed, and a 5-2 lead for Aspinall. He might be about to get his 2nd win in Manchester against Rob Cross in a 2nd consecutive year.
Yeah, really good stuff, and it's 5 from 5 on the outer ring for Nathan Aspinall. 100% checkout record. He's back in the treble 20 bed. 1-2, has to settle for a 140 in the end.
Pretty sure there haven't been many people who have had a perfect game when it comes to finishing in Premier League darts in this format. I'm sure that Simon Whitlock did it about 10 years ago. But if Aspinall goes 6 from 6, we're going to be digging into the record books. He's got 2 treble 20s. And on the switch, it's only a single 19, but it's 222 after 6 darts. He's got this game in the palm of his hand. He's now just got to close it up.
Rob Cross still battling away. 134 points on the board, puts him down to 267, but Nathan Aspinall still with that lead, 222 plus these darts.
Hasn't been a bad performance from Rob. It's an average of nearly 96. But Nathan's just been that little bit better, getting plenty of chances, and he's taken every single one of them. He's got 3 little ducks here, 222, but a beautiful last dart. How did he find that 57? That was Declan Rice-like, right in the corner. 126 for the match, and you wouldn't be surprised if he takes it. He hasn't missed a double yet. And Cross, all he can do from 267 is leave a shot that is 1 point more.
And again, just Nathan Aspinall will take his time. It's
a double reset. He gets a small 19 to start and can't follow it up with the treble, to his disgust. So Cross, 127. This looks familiar. Doesn't get the 60, but he has an out. That out is treble 19 right now. Gets it. Are we seeing another bullseye finish? Is it number 3 of the match? This time the weight of the dart is good, but it's just a little bit too far left. And Aspinall now has a much easier chance to win this game, to make it into the semi-finals in Manchester to play Michael van Gerwen. Small 8, it's a mistake. But he's got an out. It's got to be the 14s now for Nathan. He's just making sure. If you're in doubt, ask the referee. He gets the 14, and now it's the bull for the match for Aspinall. And he gets the bullseye, of course. Incredible finishing from the Asp. It does not get any better than that whatsoever. 6 from 6 on the outer ring and the bullseye in that match. And that's not just one bullseye finish. He had 2. He's going to remember that performance for the rest of his career. Not just because of where it is, because of how he did it, Laura Turner. How good was that?
Yeah, really good. And you think back to the start of that match, Rob Cross really did dominate in those first couple of legs, was threatening the 9-darter, but Nathan Aspinall, true to form, gritty start, gritty performance throughout, but it was an absolute finishing masterclass in the end.
2 wins in Manchester now, both against Rob Cross, and his next mission will be to get one against somebody else who's follically challenged. The 3-time world champion, that is Michael van Gerwen, who came through the game with Chris Dobey in our first quarter-final tonight. But now we build up towards another homeboy. Luke Littler, the world champion and world number 2, will take on Gerwyn Price. He's going to get the booze in the next match, but wait for that. And please join us on the YouTube channel with talkSPORT Darts, because if that game is anything to go by from Aspinall, maybe what we're about to see and hear could be even better. Nathan Aspinall 6, Rob Cross 2, and when it comes to the Darts Premier League, the last thing you want is an online mishap throwing you off your game. Threat Protection Pro helps you dodge bogus sites, and with the Dark Web Monitor you'll get a heads up if your personal info starts circulating in the online equivalent of the Madhouse. Go to nordvpn.com/dartsvpn and get 2 years plus 4 months free and a birthday deal. It's risk-free with Nord's 30-day money-back guarantee. Keep it here on the talkSPORT Darts YouTube channel. It's Littler Price next.